He's here, but he's not.
I'm over
Oh,
here.
oh, there you are, Chuck. Uh, Welcome back
Hello.
to another exciting episode of the Black Friday sale special Urfspace
Of the Where's
show.
Amber show. I don't.
The
I think
Where's
she.
Amber? Oh yeah, we could do like a Where's Waldo for Amber. Can you draw that? Where's Amber?
I don't think she needs us, and we got more ratings when she just did the show on her own. So,
Really? It's probably she got to talk more, and her fans like that.
and she's busy being a mom. But maybe Thursdays isn't really working out for her. I'm not sure. I mean, Thursdays might not be ideal.
Well, the stuff she was telling me was not. Well, I don't know if it's a schedule thing, but she said she had food poisoning. It's in the chat. It's in the
Oh, she
Facebook
got
chat.
food poisoning.
Yeah, it's like in the chat. She got like food poisoning. Told her, take some charcoal. I can't deny that curly hair. Wait, what is going on? I'm just reading her thing. Oh, I guess that's Annabelle. Yeah, that's Annabelle. Uh,
Annabelle has got food poisoning, or Annabelle's
no,
in the
no, no,
chat.
no, 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 no. It's not that Annabelle's got. She said food poisoning all day, and Ian's not home yet. So hope I didn't dox you.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well,
Uh,
poor Amber.
well, right, because they've gone through like some like schedule shifts. So I don't know. Maybe we should talk about putting it in a different place.
Yeah, well, if you've got any ideas about a different time you'd like to see the show, because you can't listen to it at this time, I think Tina's listening. Tina was a bit disappointed we didn't have a guest. I don't know. Well,
We can cold call.
I'll just,
Roxy will probably be buying the
yeah.
band.
Well, if you'd like to come on and have a chat with us, good. In the meantime, we should promote. Hernan has a show
He does tonight, isn't it?
tonight. The Japanese Baby. It may be their last show because Dave Jurgens, the drummer, may be departing from Japanese Baby. Dave Jurgens from the Angry Tunes. It may all go be. It may all be going apart now, like the moons and the conjunction. You know, this may all be over. It's actually also it's Amy's birthday tonight,
Yeah,
and she's also on the album. So, like, she was going to have a thing at Bisat Boap. So, if anybody wants to go to Bisat Boap, she's at Bisat Boap.
I
So
just want to.
we're sort of pre-booked. The Bisat Boap thing, I believe, has already started. It's a good place. We could stop in there and get some dinner on the way out. Maybe I thought.
Wait, I'm actually thinking about not doing anything after this because
Ooh.
I have a dental appointment tomorrow. I like took a chunk out of one of my teeth.
Oh,
I was chewing like banana chips, and I was like, God damn, that's a really hard banana chip.
oh dear.
And then shortly thereafter, my tongue was like, oh crap, there's a big part of your tooth missing. So I have to go and see what they have to say tomorrow morning. I'd prefer to not to do that with a hangover because there'll be so much irresistible stuff to drink. But
Yeah, and you don't want to be having gas or anything
gas?
like that. I don't know. Would they give you gas for that? Nitrous oxide?
Oh, like at the dentist's
Yeah.
office? Um, I think all they're going to do tomorrow is probably say, this is what we think we need to do. And then maybe I don't know, dude. Have you ever chipped off? It feels like about a quarter of my tooth is gone. It's just super
Oh
rough.
well, not that much. I mean, I remember when I have chipped my tooth on different occasions, but not seriously. Like once when I was a kid, I did a fair bit. A quarter of your tooth—that's like a lot.
And it's a big one. It's like the one of the big molars. It's like way back here.
Did
And
you
it
have your Did you have your wisdom
falling
teeth
apart.
out?
Yeah, I'm like falling apart. First to get a spike in the foot. I'm not gonna blame my body for that one, but I'm gonna say actually this isn't my tooth's fault either. It's all the crappy dental work I had as a kid coming back to haunt me. Just like that's they don't tell you that like, when you get amalgams, it's like, 30 years down the road, your teeth are gonna be shot because we had to like we had to drill so much out of these teeth and put in this huge, you know, filling. But that is kind of what happens. It's not a really.
You got to look after your teeth, folks. There was a poet in England, Pam Ayres. She had very popular. I don't think I'm going to start doing my Pam Ayres, but she had a popular one about about looking after your teeth.
I mean, it's good to look after your teeth. So what I tell Naomi is I said, like, almost all of my dental work was done before I was 12. So it was like really, it was basically my permanent teeth came in, and there's a narrow little window when either I ate terrible and had terrible genetics and got cavities all over, or I got a dentist. And my mom has this story where she says we switched dentists and this new dentist suddenly found all this work that you needed. And she's like, I was suspicious, but he was a dentist. So I don't know which factors were at play there. I don't know if it's a drill happy
Yeah.
dentist or I really
No,
had
they
all these
are. They are very
cavities. But
different. You have to really like find the every human's different, and doctors, they're not all the same. They don't all come from the
well,
same
I
mold. Doctors and
did, yeah,
dentists and all that, they're all very different people, and they've
and,
got
and
different approaches to how they think they should treat you
and I didn't
for whatever
realize
ails
that.
you. So you have to really think why, what is the source of illness? What are the symptoms? I mean, the trouble is, like, the older you get, the wiser it is to be about
Are you
these
going to
things.
talk up
But
your acupuncturist again? I feel like that's about to come.
well, I'd like to have him on because he's it's just this thing is so dismissed in our culture that actually but actually it's the obvious thing that it's like somebody who's sort of really sort of treating your body and like keeping you on the straight and narrow, like making sure that you do your exercises. But there are there's different sort of shortcuts in learning about all this stuff that is in San Francisco. It's a little more well accepted on both sides of the fence. But Western medicine is very good at emergency medicine, and if you're sort of shot or you've got something where you need like drugs or surgery, they're very good at it. But the trouble is they offer drugs and surgery as the solution because that's the things that people can make money from. When actually, like there's a lot of, sort of individual healers who can be making money, but then it's hard, like, okay, regulated system, things have to be regulated. So it's a very complicated issue.
Chuck's
Yeah.
figured it out. I know you went through a bit of a epiphany with the healthcare system in the U.S. over the last like 10 years, where you were first very excited about it and then less so.
No, I'm still optimistic about a better healthcare system. And I think California is like doing a good job. I think it's really hard to do like a national healthcare system because the country's so huge, and I understand it that the different states they want to be treated like different countries. Like that's sort of a Tea Party thing, and I don't know. I mean, it depends how you feel about it, but I mean, really, that's sort of natural human sort of way because people want to do things very differently. But the whole point of the United States is that we're all supposed to sort of do things together under this sort of certain ideal by these founding fathers was supposed to be better than the way things had been done up till now in Europe, which involved fighting all these wars and killing each other endlessly.
Yeah, I think what the U.S. figured out is we should still fight all those wars. We just shouldn't do it on our land.
Well, I mean, I think we started off with this good idea of sort of promoting like the ideals of the French Revolution and stuff like that: liberty, equality, fraternity. Um, those are sort of very fundamental, but there's a lot of questions about equity that haven't sort of been addressed or only just sort of being sought to address. And then there's sort of issues about like climate equity, and the fact is that the next frontier is like Star Trek is right. The next frontier is space, but space is really difficult. I mean, space only you can only do anything in space if you or like have a hugely cooperative society.
You mean like get to the moon or go to Mars and
Just
spoil
anything,
the
you
city?
have to be hugely cooperative in order to like achieve any of those things. So until you are, you're sort of stuck here on this ball. Like, you can do what you want, but you're stuck here.
Oh
And
man, I'm definitely stuck here.
and
And
we're all
even
stuck
if
here
like
together, and it gets smaller and smaller. And the longer we're here, and the smarter we get, and the more our intelligence can like look out, and we can see this whole universe that's stretched out before us, which may or may not have life in it. We're going to find out. We're pretty look. It's look the signs are looking good that life is there.
yeah, but I mean we're concerned with like intelligent life,
Yeah,
right?
intelligent life.
And
That's who knows what that means.
then like planets that would support human life, like whatever they Goldilocks planets, stuff like that. But I figure we're pretty much stuck. I mean, even if Elon Musk gets a
Yes.
rocket to Mars in 10 years from now, it's like I'm not going because that's a one-way trip. I probably wouldn't even make the trip. I'd die on the way, and then I'd
I
spend all my money. I'd be like, sorry, Naomi and my grandkids. I
I
died
think what people don't like
halfway.
about Elon Musk is that he's not a good consensus builder. He's like, I'm just going to do it my way.
Well, he must be pretty good at building some consensus. He's got the I mean, Tesla's if that was the one thing he's ever done in his life,
But
it's
he bought
amazing.
it. I mean, he bought it when it was already a going concern, or like a concern that was like showing that it could be a going concern.
Um, I don't know where he bought it, but the critical part, the part that was very, very difficult for Tesla and difficult for any of these car manufacturers, he was at the helm of all that, and they almost went bankrupt.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. No, he came in at a point where and he's made it what it is now. Yeah, for sure, obviously. But
so he bought Tesla.
yes, he
That
didn't
wasn't his.
create the company. Well, I don't know enough about it,
Wasn't the
but
company that he started? I thought
that's
that
my
was
understanding.
his.
Is it's more a case of people created the company. But yes, then they need a shark to come
I
in.
mean,
You need money. You need a money investors come in with a lot of money, which he could provide,
I mean,
and he had vision and belief, and triumph of the will.
did
He's
you
going to make it
realize
happen
that?
because he's made other things happen. And that's what your business needs at that point. If you watch Shark Tank
But I
anyway.
mean, if he didn't build consensus, I don't know how he did this because there's only two, I think, American car companies that haven't gone bankrupt. They've all gone bankrupt and gotten handouts except for Ford and Tesla. And most of the car companies have started since the big three have gone under in like record time. I mean, and then to do an electric car company, which people had tried many times before, all going all the way back to about 100 years ago, when the first electric cars were around. Which it's just insane that this concept's been out that long, and that's just
Yes.
Tesla.
It's hard,
So
but yes, the problem is that it's been a technology problem, but it's also been, the technology. There's a technology of burning the fossil fuels up, which again, until life is discovered elsewhere, they are the most precious commodity in the universe, by far.
um,
Way more valuable than any of the mineral wealth, like diamond, gold, anything.
what are
Forget that. Like that's the only oil that there will ever plastic that there will be in the entire vastness of the universe. It
wait?
could be
What's the most valuable?
the oil, plastic, billion,
Oil.
fossilized
Well, I
forest. I mean,
mean,
if there's no other life out there,
only for like the last
but
100
otherwise we know
years.
there's diamonds and all the other things out there.
I mean, oil's had a pretty short run in terms of even history, even like written history.
Well, there's probably a fair bit of it left, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know don't even know how much oil there is or isn't around, buried around, deep under the ocean, I suppose. Pockets of it.
All I'm saying is, I think what Elon's trick is making shit that is useful.
I just
I,
thought
I
it's good sci-fi though. Wait,
what is
all right. It's in the far future.
what is
Like it's in the far future. Humanity's sort of gone out, colonized, but oil is now the most valuable commodity because there's no other life. There's no trees or anything. It's just barren worlds that we can bring our life to, but you're not going to have a billionaire. There's no billion-year-old forest underneath it. So the only oil is like left on Earth. So you have to drill down to the deepest depths of the ocean to explore for oil.
I mean, you ever think about like how much of this is just kind of like molten rock and molten metals and stuff? I mean, we're on this crust. We're kind of like, when you get you boil some milk and then you leave it, or like some pudding. We're that skin on the top of the planet. That's where all this shit is going
Yes,
down on
with
this little thin
skin
crust.
on the pudding. Yeah,
I think we gotta figure out how to get some of that the magma energy.
it's like the
Get
show.
get
It's
on
like
that magma.
the skin on the Facebook pudding of Facebook and social media.
Hmm?
I'm not feeling.
Oh.
I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm feeling like the show. Feel like it's all coming to an end. Look, I've been doing all this work for Goodman Games. It's a deep
So
mouse.
in 2004, via a $6.5 million investment, Elon became the company's largest shareholder. He became CEO in 2008, and I think their real trouble started when they were trying to make an affordable production car. By the way, I was reading the other day that it's one of the Tesla models is the most popular car in Europe. I didn't realize how big Tesla is. It might be the biggest car company in the world now, which is insane. I remember when it was like this little, electric car company, south of us, wherever it is, south of San Francisco. Where is it? Where did it used to be?
I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna show you some art here. Ooh. There we go. I'll get the cam. I'll tell you what. I'll pan the cam. I'll do the cam.
Is this your stuff?
Is it flipped? Oh wait, let me unflip it.
I can read it. 200. Whatever that is, 200 feet, I guess.
Yeah, but wait, I think I can. Video settings. Hang on. There we go. All right, this one's called, like, I can do them like a little story. Beneath the mountain. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so this is for for a Goodman Games dungeon crawl classics. They just did Dungeon Desert, so you can come up the stone stairs, and there's a sort of rocky bit you've got to get past. And I can't remember. I just draw the description, so you can sort of use it as a playable map. But yeah, there's a long gap there of 200 feet. And you come down, and then there's a little. I don't know. Can you see that? It's a little bright.
I see a little chair.
Yeah, a little throne. And then there's a trap. You fall down into a spiky trap.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And then some sort of god.
Now,
Like an
this was
idol.
all done by the Boring Company, I believe. One of Elon Musk's other companies, did a lot of this work. Is that true? You were inspired by the Boring Company, Chuck, when you drew this?
The Boring Company?
Yeah, the Boring Company. Elon Musk.
What?
You know how he has a company called the Boring Company?
Does he?
Yeah, you don't know this?
No. Okay, then I did, because I didn't really, it worked for the map to have the 200 and the 300, and that's how the author presented it, and I was like, okay, that works sort of visually for that, but I really like to have, as someone who runs a game, I want to see that, then you get the sense of how far in you're going in.
And this is, so is that...
It's a sort of primitive pass through the mountains. You see, if we zoom out
Oh,
a bit,
okay, so the black
you can
thing is
see
the mountain.
Yeah, so you sort of
Yeah.
you sort of go into the words. You go into the mountain. These creatures are called peritons, which are flying. I kind of, well, sometimes they're done with horse feet. I realise, of course, I should have given them clawed feet. Maybe I messed up with that. Maybe I'll change.
I think it's kind of cool. They could land and gallop around for a bit.
Well, they're more known for tearing out your heart because they have to feast on living hearts.
I do see something dripping from its mouth.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got some little juices dripping. Right, so
that heart
that's
feast.
good. That's a good one.
What is this? Who is this?
Can't show you because I don't have it. All right, I'm going to show you.
A caricature.
All right, let's see this one. All right, this one's just a story too. All right, so I'll get to that in a minute. All right, yeah. This one's called Salt in the Wound. Salt in the Wound.
Or is it called Sea Salt in the Wound?
Sea salt. Well, that's just the sea. You can name it yourself. But here's the village of Brackshire, where they're little fishing, farming folk. And, they've had a problem with people disappearing, and they think it's a vampire.
But is it a hungry squid? Is
They
it
travel
a
up
squid?
roads where you can find a body. There's a body.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's like all stretched out.
Yeah.
It's doing
Then you come to the graveyard.
So dark, Chuck.
And I didn't write it. This is there's sort of leech people living in the graveyard, but as it turns out, they didn't really kill anybody. And actually, though, there is this thing living here that's been feeding off their body parts,
That's what I'm talking about, right there.
Anyway, you have to play the adventure for Goodman Games. I forgot all the details right now.
We could just make ones up. Dirt road, village, water, swamp, mangrove tree.
So that was quite a fun one. That was good. That was all small details.
Is a mangrove like a semi-aquatic type of tree environment? Is it like...
Yes, it's sort of a salt marsh sort of thing.
And the trees are, in water.
Yeah. Yeah, The trees are, yes, so yeah, they're sort of mangrove trees. The scale's supposed to be 100 feet to a square, so I don't know. So I'm taking a few liberties here
Oh,
and
they're
there,
pretty
but
big. Those are some big trees, Chuck.
all right. But it's Fantasyland, so they could be, in its map. Yeah, it's a sort of, it's good. It's a nice borderline, which I quite enjoy between a graphical thing and a real thing. And you can go in and go around the place. I like that. Here's another one. This one's called the Fallen Grove, which is groovy, man. This one's about a druid grove, so we sort of pan down through the thick woods. Works quite well like that when we get to that. I did a sort of weird bug in the tree. Anyway, so you can sort of start
Oh,
there and
it's like a big dragonfly.
yeah, it's like
It's
some
like
weird bug. Also, I was sort of just went in and was kind of drawing it without much, because it was very it's all very jungly. So, I just sort of sketched in very roughly and made sure everything was sort of where it needed to be. You come over there's a sort of pile of leaves here. If you look closely, there's little things living in the leaves.
I see an eye, I think. I don't know. I think you're losing focus or something. Maybe
Oh
you're a
yeah,
little too
yeah.
close
Well,
or something.
you'll have to buy the
Yeah,
book.
there you go. You
Yeah,
came
that's
back
pretty
in.
good. All right.
Wait, I have to get the book to get the explanation?
Yeah. Now you can go there. You can sort of wade through the marsh here if you go up that way,
I don't know.
which probably I wouldn't advise.
Doesn't look safe.
Or you can go this way where you encounter a dead tree ant
That tree looks unhappy.
with like all brambles growing out of it.
Oh, dude, there's a Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, and then okay, so up here, these are oh god, I forgot what they call, but they actually had like medieval carvings. They're woses, wood woses. So they're a bit like tree ants, but they're sort of like evil wood woses that have taken over the grove here. And then we get into the grove. There's like a circle of stones and a big stone statue of a druid. And then there's all vines everywhere, and they all belong to some big evil viney spirit there.
I see those eyes. I think I see eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
Looks like a cat. Like, is there a big vine cat in there?
yeah. It's a little, it's a little sort of face that's kind of made out of just dead tree and debris, but just a little angry, hungry face, a little demon, a wood woes sort of lord or whatever. I don't know. That you have to defeat. Hopefully, you got some help from the druidess. Hopefully, you found the druidess on the way. Ooh, it's too much for my camera.
Oh, froze up.
All right, well,
Yeah.
it'll be back in a minute. All right, so that was that one. All right, there's one I can't show you.
Is this all new stuff or?
These are all I've just done them for Goodman Games. Yeah. All right. Okay. This is my favourite one. All right. This one's very perfect in terms of what I like to do. One bad apple. All right. Dale will like this one because I think these trees were quite Sergio-ish. I think, like as he likes to see them.
How do you like? How do you get these like work assignments? I mean, what do they? Do you get a brief? Do you get like? Do you get like a board or something to give you a sense of like what they're looking for? Seems like
Yes.
super
Yes.
wide open.
I have the briefs in the room. Yeah. No, I get like a map from the author.
A map.
Yeah, and like a description of like what's sort of what the author's written of like the little dungeon adventure. So the author's written these. So I'm doing an illustrated map based on what's written.
And
So
then
they've described it. So this one's like more described. So you're coming through the jungle, you're in the jungle, and you're out here. And I'll try and remember more of the story on this one. So there's like a girl who's come and offered you. She's got an apple. She's planted an apple tree outside. The apple tree, actually over here, doesn't look much like an apple tree, but. And anyway, you sort of come into the temple. There's a sort of courtyard. It's got a fence around it. I decided to make it a bamboo fence, and I did this thing. And there's a fountain that's overflowing, and there are piles of leaves in the corner. And then here you go into the temple. So like I just sort of designed like a temple idea here from different references. And I thought, I'll put it on this little platform. I kind of like that idea of the little platform, just to sort of elevate it up a little bit. And then so inside there's a sort of like a Ninja Turtle guy. He's sort of sitting there meditating, and then I had some fun thinking about this sort of layout, like what I could hide, because It's basically a mirrored layout. The author gave me a very neat little map. And then, yeah, and I sort of added this pathway around the outside, basically. So his map's a sort of black outline. And yeah, turtle character here. And, I sort of used all the space to sort of describe the whole building somewhat, but not too much. You want to leave it somewhat to imagination and how it goes. But you can sort of see, like, how that would be the whole building. But this would also be a map that you could actually play it. Like if you're playing the game with your players, this is sort of showing them what they would sort of see. I mean, you'd have to sort of keep bits of it hidden until the right time. But
And do you do like iterations? Is there like a back and forth? Do they go, oh yeah, we like this, but can you change this a little bit?
yeah, well, there is yeah, but it's again, like not like in advertising where you get like about 20 changes. I'll
Yeah,
sort of send
right.
it back, and mostly I didn't have any changes.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm asking is because, like in advertising, as you know, there can be a
Yeah,
million changes. Everyone thinks that they're doing their job if they request a change.
yeah,
And I was just like, that could be really time consuming on something like this.
yeah. No, we just like I've just basically got free hand to do it as I like. So I mean, I know I look at it and I study it, but yeah, I mean this one, yeah, there's a sort of false wall, and then you can go down the stairs, and then you can come down in here, and well, I sort of like cheated a bit, but because this tree, like all the perspective's off, but yeah, if the root's broken through a wall and it's knocked this vase or reliquary thing off, and it's let out an evil spirit. There's another ninja turtle here, so they've all sort of been possessed by this sort of spirits, and I forget what you're supposed to do.
So,
But there's some way to sort of solve the adventure, and there may be other things that are there that are in the descriptions that the author uses. I mean, so when you're running one of these games, you have access to the map. Well, at first I was making them. Well, I tried to keep them very playable, but Doug Kovacs, who's kind of the lead artist with Goodman Games, he's like, he doesn't think that matters. It should like the art should come first. But even so, he's still got the sort of squares and stuff.
but like playable, like you would take out like a game piece and you'd move it across here, like grid by
Yeah,
grid or something,
yeah. If you wanted, you
or
could print this out at a scale of these are supposed to be. So if you're using miniatures, then these would be 1-inch squares. And if you were a referee running the game, you would cover this over. The players would start here, and then when they came in here, you would have this, and you would reveal it. I mean, basically, is four pieces of paper reveal. To do it crudely. So it works on that level. I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, and it's just like yes, it's nice actually. I've realised that probably this is quite nice. For the authors, like about four encounters is nice. Like the Fallen Grove had about 6 encounters, so it got us all more cramped.
encounters.
Like
What's
the
an
different
encounter?
like encounter numbers. So encounter number 1, encounter number 2, encounter number 3, encounter number 4.
These are like characters or spirits you meet on your journey.
Yes, just sort of things where it's happened. Whereas this was a lot more. This was sort of encounter number 1, encounter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one again. This was all right. Yeah, this was but it was all very zoomed out. This was like this is a wilderness crawl. He did it on a grid, but now I'm like probably should have been a hex. But okay. So this is but it's a rare art form, but it's a new art form.
How far do you move? Like, do you roll and then move forward? I mean, how does that work? How do you advance? What are the
Yeah, so
increments?
your character would move generally like the average is for a human is 30 feet per turn.
Mm.
So that's basically in this scale would be 3 squares.
Yeah, okay. 3 squares to get to the turtle once you go through that first threshold.
But the thing is, it's not so much that about necessarily using the miniatures and stuff like that. You can, but it can be like much more just sort of like in the description in your head and all this sort of stuff.
Hey, what happened to my cool background? Okay, I'm bringing back another custom background.
of those. All right, and then this what I'm doing here. This is a top secret project. I don't know.
Top
I
secret.
checked. I didn't see anything about it being a secret project. It's a special project.
Wait, it. Wait, who is this supposed to be? It looks like a caricature of somebody.
This is Brendan LaSalle, who is he's a writer with Goodman Games. Who writes? He wrote the X-Crawl Classics, which is like sort of D&D if it was happening in the modern world. So it's like it's in arenas, and the players have to sort of earn their living, fighting in arenas for big crowds, and
That's better.
like the dungeon jockey is like the DJ who sits up in his booth and conducts everything. So I've sort of done him like that. I've just I've got to do some a little bit more colouring on it. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with some of the colours. I'm just doing them bit by bit because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. So go on. Yeah, what you were saying?
I was saying, where's my custom background? Then I found it. Then I said, is this a caricature? And you're like, not really. It's a character, but it's not based on any real person.
No, it is. Sorry, I misspoke because it's based on Brendan LaSalle.
Well, wait, maybe you did say that.
I
was like,
it's the mighty Brendan LaSalle who.
Brendan LaSalle. Let's pull up a picture. I'm gonna pull up a picture of this Brendan LaSalle and see.
Put Brendan LaSalle Goodman Games or.
Brendan.
Now, the real Brendan has two eyes, but I was told that I had to do him like this. As in a character.
Let's see what I can find. Brendan LaSalle, Goodman Games, images. Let's see. Oh yeah, you nailed it. That's him for sure. I mean, every picture of him is just kind of him going like, "Wow," with his, like he just saw the most impressive thing in the world.
He's good. He's very larger than life character. Actually, he's a great guy. He's quite tall.
Oh wait,
first time I drew a cartoon before they said draw him like a leprechaun.
I think just a picture with. Is there a picture with you and him together?
No.
Oh wait, that's not even you. Never mind.
No, I met him one time at they had this Goodman Games staff retreat, which was good. But like, unfortunately, the Goodman Games staff retreat was largely built around going on hikes.
That is not.
So I did the non-hiking portions, which was pretty good. We had an afternoon like at the pit. We went to the Pinball Museum in Alameda, and then we went to like a magic show in San Francisco, which was pretty good. Very good, very good.
Uh-oh. Thunder's on the mic now. Roar, 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 roar. Is there anything you want to ask Thunder?
Thunder, what's your favourite food?
In-N-Out burgers.
Right there. If you were English, you would know to make Thunder go sausages. You're supposed to manipulate his jaw.
I was trying to
sausages. And then that's very funny in England.
Well, I was trying to think of something that kind of sounds like rough. There's that joke about, this guy's got his dog at the bar, and he says, I'll bet you $10 that my dog, can talk. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, sure. And he says to his dog, he goes, what's on top of a house? And the dog goes, roof, roof. And then he says, what does sandpaper feel like? And the dog goes, rough, rough. And then he says, who's a famous baseball player? And the dog goes, Ruth, Ruth. And the guy says, get out of here. And he kicks him out of the bar. So the dog and his owner are out on the street. And the dog looks at the owner and goes, DiMaggio? So I was trying to think of, a way to incorporate like a real dog vocalization in this answer, and I couldn't come up with it. The sausages was not it.
Well, I liked you. No, I thought you were doing pretty well there. That was good. Yeah, all right. Not sausages. Well, they had this dog. It was really popular on the BBC in the late 70s, and it came on and it went sausages.
I like the dog that goes,
Supposedly.
"Arr, arr." You know, the dog that says "I love you." It's at the beginning of one of the Beastie Boys songs, "Sure Shot," and I think they might have used it somewhere else and maybe in a commercial. But it basically goes, "Arr, arr, arr," and it sounds like "I love you." And the best vocalizers of the canine world, I think, might be huskies. Huskies are so vocal.
Oh,
And they do a lot of U's. They do a lot of
yeah.
like Uy, vowely sounding things.
See, we don't need Amber to come up with useless facts.
It got me.
Yeah, Amber, we got our own useless facts.
And there's no need to check some of my useless facts because I'm going to tell you I'm making them up.
I don't think we got any viewers though. Who's
Tina,
watching? Oh, there's some viewers. Hi, viewers. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
I'd like to open the comment section for my background. If anybody thinks it's a great background, let me know. If you think it's a good background, let me know. If you don't like it, then don't comment on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going for good, or is it great or the best? That's what I'd like to hear about.
Well, I think it's the best.
Oh wait,
but
there's people in the
it's quite
chat.
hot dog heavy. It's
Oh hey,
it might upset
Bruce is
some
here.
viewers. What?
Bruce is here. He says hi. Just
Hey,
tuned in,
Bruce.
but we're so inattentive to the comments.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be like checking the comments.
That could have happened half an hour ago.
Wait.
It says it happened at 1857.
What is that in the real time?
Oh, somebody's asking you, can you describe the intent of the background? The intent?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to look like a stadium. Yeah, it probably needs a little more work to bring it out. Yeah, I'm sort of building it up slowly. But yeah, the general intent is like stadium. Yeah, I've got to put another little layer on there.
Is that how artists talk? The intent?
Is that Dale? Is that a question?
Oh,
Dale
sorry. Okay, that punk Darius. Sorry, I completely misinterpreted your first question.
What?
And I guess Bruce got it, and I'm the only one that didn't get it. Chuck's painting. What is the intent of it? Well, I don't know. I found this. I think it was a meme at one time, and it was just this girl who looks like somebody had a pack of hot dogs, and they just threw it at her. And I think there might be a short video on this where she appears to be sleeping. I think this whole thing was staged, by the way.
Yeah, but you don't think that's offensive to women?
No. I mean, it's funny. Do you find funny things offensive?
I don't know.
Look, if you look hard enough, you can find offense in anything. But I'll just tell you that I thought it was hilarious. So,
Right.
oh, and then you can't actually read the full bubble. So I put that bubble on. That was not in the original meme. The original meme is like a girl getting hit in the face by like 10 hot dogs, you know, and it's maybe a couple seconds of it, and it's hilarious. And then I stuck this bubble on here that says,
Folks, if you're watching this show and you'd like to try your hand at guest hosting a show,
I can't.
Send me your name on a page.
Bruce says it makes him hungry.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's probably good. People are gonna like that.
I mean,
that's
I
what they
could
want.
probably just find the meme. It's super old. It's probably 20 years old or something. It's been around forever. It might be around before people started calling memes all the time.
Yeah, that was
about 15 years ago.
Icon has cheeseburger.
Well, that wasn't. I don't think everyone was calling them memes. They kind of were. That was lolcats.
All your base belong to us. That's
yeah.
the first one I saw. That
I just saw that in the last few months.
Yeah. You saw that in the last few months.
Yeah. No. What I mean is, I should say, I revisited it. In the last few months. Because I saw it over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I'm guessing it was probably from the late 90s. All your base belong to us. Yeah. All your base. That's a classic.
Kids these days.
I kind of want to see the full.
I have to actually tell someone like, oh no, your memes have.
All right. Let me just tell the rest of the story on this. So, my band was working on this song called "Coming in Hot," and
Yeah.
we were setting up our Bandcamp page, and I was having some fun. And this is the image I used, which is totally unrelated to the album art, but this is the artwork I used for that Bandcamp page, and it's still up there. I think this whole thing is, and you know what? I'm gonna go to the Bandcamp and find out what I wrote. So this,
Are you seriously not coming out tonight though?
oh, dude, I just feel like it's a bad idea. It's like, um, I gotta drive Naomi to school early in the morning, and then I have to go to the East Bay to get my tooth looked at. And I definitely don't want to be hungover for the dental thing because it's not good to be hungover at the dentist. I just leave it at that. If you value your non-nauseousness, as I do,
Now you'll like this, Chris. This hat is known as Brendan's COVID beanie. I guess he was wearing it. Apparently, it's imbued with magical powers.
wait, okay, I'm just gonna read what I wrote in here. So the single was called "Coming in Hot," and I wrote in this bubble for my background here. I'm taking a nap with my face exposed to flying hot dogs. Damn, one hit me in the face. It came in hot. Shit.
That's where you got the lyrics from.
Well, no, I mean we wrote the song, and then I
Oh.
was just posting this on our Bandcamp page, and I wanted a funny image to go with it, and this was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. Um, it still makes me laugh though, so mission accomplished. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
hopefully,
yeah. This drawing was making me chuckle as I was coming along with it. So
but
that's the key. As long as it's making you chuckle, that's
yeah.
right.
I mean, it's definitely not offending me. Is it offending you, Chuck?
No, but I don't like to create work that offends people particularly. I mean, you can't help it. I mean, you're going to offend
I mean,
somebody, but,
I don't know
I don't
what's.
want to upset large swathes of the
I feel like you
population
have
for
to
no
look
good
pretty
reason.
hard to get offended by this one. I mean, it's hot dogs and a sleeping girl.
Well,
You know, I think it's even funnier if you can find the video of it. Um, if you can find the actual video of it, because it's in slow motion, and it's like boom, just like being hit by hot dogs.
well, right.
We just want to thank some of our sponsors right now.
Have we got some sponsors now?
Yeah, we have Feso hot dogs. We want to say Feso hot dogs are the most delicious hot dogs ever. That's why I eat them. Chuck eats them. We feed them to our family. It's a wholesome company. Feso hot dogs.
I realise that hot dogs actually are probably pretty good for you because they've got all those sort of bits of the meat that you don't normally eat. But actually, that's probably where all the really good stuff is, isn't it? That's
Totally.
probably the secret to America's success, really, is the hot dog.
That's where the collagen is and all the other
Yeah. I mean,
vital
the
nutrients.
collagen, that's really good for you, isn't it? I'm going to eat more hot dogs.
Yeah, it makes your nails strong. So eat more hot dogs for better hair and nails. Oh, hey Bruce. Actually, if you want,
Your
Bruce, if you
your fascia is collagen. It's the elastic collagen layer that sort of surrounds and protects your whole body that like acupuncture works on, and is like the missing organ that they discovered in our body.
yeah, I mean collagen's in all kinds of elasticy parts of your body. Is my understanding. I'm no
Wait, though,
expert.
that hot dog we had the other night was dodgy. Well,
Oh, you mean that
I'm not going to mention the name of the restaurant again because they're the sort of place they probably sue you.
it wasn't dodgy? It just
everyone
was
there
like,
looked like a lawyer looking for someone to sue.
wait, why do you think it was dodgy though? It wasn't. I had issues with it, but it's not that it was dodgy.
I don't know. I think I had an upset stomach.
Oh, you did, huh? I think you said that, and I
Yeah.
forgot.
I don't know.
Well,
Tina says I've got a sensitive stomach. Well, I don't think I do.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you have any specialized diet or any food allergies or anything.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No, I eat a lot of different things, and I'll take risks. Let's say that.
you'll take risk with a $16 hot dog. The only part I didn't like about
No,
that hot dog was
I should.
the price
Yeah,
tag.
but if it's a $16 hot dog, you should know it's some sort of scam, right? There's no $16 hot dog.
Oh, it's a scam, but the scam isn't it's giving you food poisoning. The scam is it's robbery.
No,
It's like,
the scam is that they're getting the cheapest hot dog they can possibly find. That's like the more they
I
charge for it,
mean,
the less they paid for it, in my opinion.
they could get the most expensive hot dog they could find, and they'd still make money on a $16 hot dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're shameless.
Can you imagine paying $160 for a pack of hot dogs at the store? But there's 8 in there,
Yeah,
right?
it's shameless. Yeah, they're buying them in
So,
bulk.
so what? That's
They're buying them
80.
at like 2 cents each from China.
So that's over $100 for a single pack. That's what we're not gonna name the
We're not going to
restaurant
name this restaurant.
because Chuck said so many untrue things about
You'd
them.
have to watch. You have to watch every previous show we've ever done. You
Chuck's
wouldn't have
defamed them so badly now.
I can't even remember the name. I don't think it was even the place we thought it was anyway.
They should have called that Tech Bros in the Neighborhood. I don't know. You know, they should have had something
Tech
on
Bros! Hey, that's a good name.
Tech Bros.
Like the Pet Boys.
Tech
the Tech
Bros
Bros
dog.
in the future.
You know, at Tech Bro Dogs, you're gonna pay a lot more than
Tech
you need
Bros is going to be a
at
huge
Tech Bro
franchise
Dogs.
one day.
Um,
New from Tech Bros.
that should be like a charge. It should have a
Webcams.
Tech Bro surcharge on the hot dogs.
Webcams, microphones, LED lighting systems. Tech Bros.
Hot dogs.
Hot dog, free hot dog with every LED, every 100 feet of LED lighting.
Get a free CPU. Get some RAM.
Um,
I was gonna say something to Bruce. That hey, if you want to stop in, you could be our guest. Apparently, we have none booked. But by the way, I had a great idea, Chuck. Want to hear it?
I don't have time. I've got to get serious about some stuff. I don't know.
You got to get serious about the
Podcasting
painting.
This podcasting business.
Oh, this podcasting. But no, here's
What do
my
you think? I might be like near the end. This might be my final show.
Uh-oh, you heard it here first. And maybe you heard it here last.
I don't know. I like doing it. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if Amber's giving up. Are you still into it?
I'm still into it. I do think that we should my philosophy is that if you're going to be doing something for a while, you might as well have it like a deliberate intention of improving it. I mean,
Right.
we've got some long-standing issues that we're all aware of, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it might be nice to have a little prep beforehand. You know, to me, it's really about can you build an audience? That's
Yeah.
um,
Ugh.
it should be fun to do. But if you're doing it right, you should see just like if you're in a band. Um,
Yeah.
oh, Bruce has practice at 8 with Cynthia. They're like
They
you
practice
guys
hard.
log a lot of practices. I bet so. It's about 2 hours with me a week, and then you've probably got how much do you guys practice a week? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember your. I bet you guys practice like something like 6, 8 hours a week, something like that. You're practice maniacs. Um. Oh yeah. So as far as audience goes, I feel like if you're doing things right in a band, more people listen to you over time. If you're doing the right things with a streamcast, your audience grows. There's some type of progression, some kind of measurable progression. And I've been going through this with my band for the last, couple years where I'm like, what are
Yeah.
we trying to do here? And how do we measure it? Practice just makes me tired, Tina. Practice makes me sleepy, which is perfect for slumber. Um, yeah, so if you've been
Well,
in
you
a
can.
band for 5 years and you've got the same audience, well, I mean, like some people don't have that as something that's important to them, but it's important to me. Um, So I think like figuring out what works, what doesn't work, that type of thing. How to like grow an audience. I mean, it'd be cool if there were like 100 people tuned into these shows. You know,
That's what I do.
although
I
you
don't
know
know.
what,
Then I definitely would want to stop.
although you know what, uh, I think Bruce was telling me that a lot of people watch these like offline. They don't watch them live. And I don't know if you've ever even looked at those numbers. Chuck has to finish this before the paint dries. It's time critical.
Well,
Troy,
yeah.
that's the name I was looking for.
What about this pencil?
Damn, Cynthia and you are like, wow. I mean, that's hardcore. I actually like doing that stuff. I mean, my general complaint with bands that I've been in are they don't want to practice enough, or they are inconsistent. I used to be in a band a long time ago with somebody who we'd set up 3 practices a week, and almost always one of them would get moved and one of them would get canceled. So at the end of the rescheduling drama of every week, we'd get in, 2 of the 3 practices. This went on forever, and it drove me nuts because I was like, hey, if you can't do the practices, just don't schedule them. I mean, who are you fooling? Can you make the hot dog girl real big? Oh, you put the comments out on the.
Well, I don't know. Are there active comments going on? No,
Well, I
Bruce
mean,
just left, didn't he? All right. Well,
did he leave?
I don't know.
How do you know that?
The trouble is, I wish the comments would show you the comments that have just been, because every time you put it up, there's no comments. But I guess you could put it up at the top. But then if it's up, then people don't make comments. I don't know what to do.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah. Like if I put it up, it won't show me the comments. It'll show the comments as they come up, but it'll always like.
Oh,
show.
look. I don't know what Bruce is
Yeah.
saying no to.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Bruce didn't leave Chuck.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he had to practice.
He said that, but then I thought you saw something like hi Facebook Bruce. That punk Darius. Do one of us know you in like real life? In IRL? Are you a fan of comics or Chuck's work? How did you find us? No. What brings you here? I'm just out of curiosity. That punk Darius. And where are you? And where are you being brought from? Now we got we got quite the run of single word comments going on here.
Well, we're here to answer your questions on any topic whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll answer your questions on any topic. Doesn't have to be related to art or anything that we're informed about.
Yeah, preferably not something we're informed about.
Yeah, I mean, how did you find it? The interesting way the internet works is how I found this channel. Was it a suggestion? Did Facebook suggest it to you? Did a benevolent algorithm suggest it to you? Because if so, it might be a trap.
It's not a trap.
At the end of this, you might think that we're just going to finish like doing some artwork and talking, but this is going to lead into a high pressure timeshare seminar at the end. That's going to be some pretty like.
Yeah, we're selling real estate on planet Earth.
Well, thank you, Twitch. That punk Darius says Twitch suggested it. Yeah. So that punk Darius. Normally Amber is on here too, who is also an artist, and we show some of her work. And a lot of times, if you look at the back episodes of this, we've done like 100 of these. We've had some pretty accomplished artists on this show. this show that Twitch just happened to suggest to you, um, Amber is missing from, and we have no guest, which we normally do have a guest. But Chuck is doing the arts.
We'll have to have a guess. We're a bit busy. We're talking about upcoming events. We've got Fan Expo in San Francisco. Are you in San Francisco? Fan Expo is going to have Mark Hamill, first of all, like Luke Skywalker, and Ewan McGregor, which is like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I heard that William Shatner is going to be there. So that's, you know,
That guy. I mean,
that's Star Trek. That's both pantheons. That's like the Clash of the Titans.
I just can't believe he's still
That's like
going.
Buddha and Jesus both appearing on the same stage. Well, I don't know they will be. They're probably separate. You probably only see them on via virtual experience.
Wait,
But the comics will be up. I'll be up there. I was at that show last year. It was a good show. It was good times. I recommend you check it out if you can get tickets. I don't know if the tickets are available. They used to was.
well, that punk Darius is in Idaho,
Okay,
in the mountains of Idaho.
Yeah, what's going on in Idaho?
I just have a whole bunch of questions for you. Like, what's it like living in Idaho? I mean, we're both in San Francisco, but I probably won't be here forever. And I do have like fantasies of homesteading. Sometimes I think, maybe I could just buy some 40 acres, get some chickens. Idaho seems like it'd be cold in the winter, though. And maybe it wouldn't have enough people. But, sometimes people annoy me, so maybe I don't need to be around them as much.
Yeah,
I'm certainly
you're already
surrounded by them now.
kind of a hermit.
What's that?
You're already a bit of a hermit.
I'm already a bit of a hermit, but I live in this city of like 1 million people, so
Yeah,
it's
so that's
it's
the
not
best place to be a hermit.
it's not an ideal place for hermiting.
No, but the trouble is, like, there's a misconception of hermits. Like, if you're a hermit out in the wilderness, everyone like knows you're there. They're like, "There's a hermit living up in that cave." If you're in the city, nobody knows you're there.
I feel like my neighbors know I'm here a lot,
But I think the hermit,
especially the ones that are looking into my backyard constantly.
yeah, they go, "Oh, we got a hermit living next door."
I guess stop going to their parties. Get this hermit thing going.
Yeah, hermits. That was a funny
yeah.
Monty Python sketch. Do you remember that one where they were on the show where all the hermits are all living on the hill? They were like,
No.
"Morning, good morning." They're doing a documentary about hermits.
Yeah, which one's it in?
Like in the shows.
Oh, in the shows.
Yeah.
No, I do not remember. Um,
All right. Well,
You're
so
from the
brings that.
Midwest, so it's 2 kilometers. I grew up in Michigan. I was there for 10 years, and man, Michigan, I don't know if people believe this, but Michigan's the roughest. So I've lived in Arizona, California, New York. I lived in England for a little while, and I spent a good chunk of time in Florida.
England.
Yeah, and Michigan was
Oh,
the most
blimey,
brutal.
governor. Do I do a good English accent?
You do.
Up and
very
down the
convincing.
apples and pears.
But Michigan was the most brutal.
Hey, I'm a Beatle. I'm from Liverpool. Do I sound like one of the Beatles?
Exactly. I thought it was John.
That's
Or-
just that's my gift to the people of Liverpool. If they ever want a reason to kick the crap out of me, they can cite.
You'll have to come to 504 Manchester Street in.
Wait,
Yeah,
well,
I
all
like-
right. So
I was
Iowa. Do they
being
have
visible.
hermits in Iowa? Do they have
Not in Idaho, and not in Iowa,
Idaho?
Idaho. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. When I was in Arizona, it's the only place that I've seen the Milky Way galaxy with my naked eye, and it's because it's a desert, and you get outside of the city, and the air is really clear and dry, and there's no light pollution. But everywhere else, I've never
Okay,
seen
you can
anything
see it
like
in
that.
Yosemite.
You can see the Milky Way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was up there one time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because at first when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's a long wispy cloud. And then you realize it's composed of all these little like
Yeah.
pinpricks of light, which are, what are they? Suns? Stars?
Yeah, they're
Sun
stars
stars?
like our suns. Yeah. just like our sun, really. Our
Hmm.
sun's.
I mean, I
I
wonder
don't know where
what's
it is. It's a medium small, I think.
our sun.
Yeah.
I think is what is it? A red dwarf? But I don't know.
No,
That
no,
sounds
no,
like
no,
a
no, no,
smaller
no, no. A
sun.
red dwarf is like a sun that's sort of nearing extinction.
Okay,
Like
ours is.
as it runs out of gas, as it burns out, it
Mhm.
expands because the gravity doesn't hold it together as much. So it just sort of goes into a big dim red sun. That's like the dying Earth books. There's like the big dim red sun
So,
that's sort of in
so
the sky.
we don't have a red dwarf for a sun.
No, yeah, no, our sun's sort of healthily burning away in its prime.
Uh, um, that Punkdarius says that you know what you're talking about. So, I was gonna check Wikipedia, but now I'm not. So we're not. Well, so how old is our sun? Like, if it was a human, is it like a 50-year-old person? Is it like 25? Do I have less than a billion years to go on this thing? Is what I want to know.
Oh no, I think you've got like
Couple hundred million,
yeah, like
hundred
you've got
million,
billions of years to go on the sun.
billions
Yeah,
on our sun?
yeah,
Because I think our planet's about 4 billion years old.
yeah,
So you think we got a couple billion left in the sun?
yeah.
So I shouldn't sweat it.
Like 4 billion years. So like there's still things whizzing around that can sort of hit you. I mean that's the thing. Like the universe was at one point this cloud where things are sort of hitting into, but things are hitting the moon all the time. You see those. Like our atmosphere protects us from getting hit. So all those gases that we produce. We're big enough to hold the atmosphere. Mars can't hold an
So,
atmosphere. Venus is like a toxic cloud. Venus is what we could become if we don't manage our climate, which would just be a poisonous, toxic wasteland
oh wait a
where
second.
nothing can survive.
I think that that Punk Darius is just saying I should listen to you because you're wearing a space T-shirt. That's not those T-shirt's not a credential.
It says, "Welcome to the end of time."
I knew I should have gone to that wiki page and fact checked you. We should have a whole show just called fact checking. Oh, a yellow dwarf. So it sounds like we have a little
Okay.
bit more time if it's a yellow dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all right. We're good for a while on that sun. That's not our major concern. I don't think it's the sun running out.
Yeah, so I should go ahead and plant the lettuce again in the spring.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll
if we
work
get
out.
to the point where like the sun running out is a worry, then we kind of deserve it because it looks like you did fuck all. You just sat there.
I think
You had several billion years to just solve that problem. Well, it was a big problem. Just didn't quite get to it.
it could be 3 a.m. where we are, Leon 784, but
Oh, yeah, it's a little earlier. Yeah.
it's just 7:30. This is actually I think Chuck's going out after this,
Yeah, all night.
and I'm gonna nap with my my adorable Chalama mix, my therapy dog who's on my lap right now. Because tomorrow I get to go to the dentist. Yay! So much fun. Can't wait to hear what they have to say. 7 a.m. So what does that mean? India. India? Did I get it right? It was right off the top of my head. I didn't check an app or anything. I'm gonna go with India. Oh, but I'm pretty close, right? Who's there? Middle East. Oh, okay. Yeah. When I was in India, it was like exactly 12 hours off. It was like maddening, because when I try to, like get a hold of my wife or my daughter, you know, it's always pretty bad time. No good overlaps.
At least that's what they told you.
What's that?
At least that's what they told you.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
They said, Chris, it's 12 and a half hours difference. So try again next week.
All right. I think I have to get a bit more painty with this thing.
I think what dentists do is they drill holes in your teeth and then they fill them with stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, off by a couple thousand miles, I bet, but pretty close. You know, around 12 hours off. Middle East, whew, depending on where you are, things are not going well. Chuck's not going to open that can of worms, are you, Chuck?
Ooh.
But you put that shit back
Well,
down.
I'm just who's. Oh, okay. I learned a new word this week: parochial empathy.
Okay, can I make a?
No,
Uh,
but parochial empathy is what the bad actors use. They manipulate in you because it's like extreme empathy for your own group and the suffering of your own group that makes you like get a physical pleasure from the thought or the idea of your enemy, getting hurt. And that is the factor that gets manipulated is your parochial empathy, which is your sort of even stronger empathy for your own in group. And people who want us to fight and kill each other use that and manipulate that parochial empathy in order to get us to do it.
our phrase for the episode is parochial empathy, and Chuck's going to use it in a sentence. And could I get the country of origin?
The country of origin is the USA.
Parochial empathy. P.
A-R.
Oh, I would have already been out.
Paro. R-A-R-O.
Can you? Can you?
C-H-I-A-L. Parochial.
Can you use?
Empathy. E-M-P-A-T-H-Y. I don't know. I'm just winging it there, but something like that. Parochial empathy, which is like the empathy you feel strongly for your own sort of like in group and like how they're being persecuted, so that it's really what leads to wars. It's like this sort of extreme good feeling, to a group that you identify with and you believe they're being sort of persecuted.
But
So
it's
then that makes
group,
you
right?
lose sort of all empathy for the persecutor, which is
Can
usually
you give us
identified
like
as
a?
being a group. And you really
Can
got
you
to
give us?
identify, and then people like, people who want to manipulate people use that to manipulate them.
Can you give us a real world example that won't be like a hot button topic or a hot button topic? I don't care. But
No,
yeah,
almost by definition, I can't think of one. I'm
this
trying to
is
think of
it's
something.
a very theoretical term. There's no real
Uh,
world examples. He's saying a lot.
okay, oh, right, like so parochial
Really,
empathy, like so
seriously.
everyone identifies so much with Princess Diana and the tragic accident that now they really hate the paparazzi. And the poor
Okay.
what did the paparazzi ever do to him?
See, I was way ahead. I was way ahead on that one. I already disliked the paparazzi before that.
You were
Um,
ahead of the game on this.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
Leon
just trying to think of some
Leon
example
seven
that
eighty
people would
four
know.
is suggesting the Indian scammer case would work. So I
Well, in the
so
billionaires wars, that we're all going to have to pick our billionaires. You've already made it quite clear that you're going with Elon Musk. On my
if
money's on Jeff Bezos, as he's the people's billionaire.
there's no people's billionaire.
He's the
There's no
people's.
people's
He's the
billionaire.
people's billionaire.
Uh, there's
He's
people.
building the infrastructure for space,
Oh yeah. Well, he's building the infrastructure
but
for space.
he's being a bit annoying about letting me list the paperback edition of Where's Itsy Bitsy Spider on Amazon, which I've got it on there, but for some reason he's not letting me
Why is
put it
that?
into expanded distribution. But his minions seem to be taking me seriously, so hopefully the matter will get escalated to his attention soon.
What's their objection to it? Does it break community
Well, then that's
guidelines?
what they can't tell me.
Oh, that's so typical. I like it. So you break some community guideline, and that's some so general you have no idea what you
Well, I
did,
think because
and then
previously I had it was over the ink limit. They probably had an ink limit, although they're not very clear about the ink limit. But I re-ink limited it. But I'm like, if it's over the ink limit, can you just tell me it's over the ink limit, and I'll fix the ink limit problem. I did fix the ink limit, but you're still like not letting me. But is that because I didn't fix the ink limit problem properly? Please, can you define the fucking problem for
oh wait,
me?
wait, did you say ink limit?
Okay, so you've worked in print press media. So when you're printing things in four color process, which most things are printed in, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black All right, so if you printed all of those colors together, that would have 400% ink, 100% black, 100% cyan, 100% magenta, 100% yellow, 100% black. And that would be the sort of blackest black you could print. Because you can print cyan, magenta, and yellow on their own, and they're pretty black. And then you could put black on that. So, but the cyan, magenta, yellow is not black enough, so it's black. So, but that's 400% of ink. That's a lot of ink. So if you put that all over your pages, you'd have a horrible mess with your printer, unless you've got a high quality printer that can really sort of handle that. But no printer is going to sort of have the printer really so it's going to be running at be able to handle them sort of all the time, all the maximum tolerance of ink. But especially print on demand, where it's sort of more like a big photocopier. It's like a sort of gigantic photocopier, but it sort of has a binding thing and binds the books together and does all that, and it just spits out finished books. So they want an ink limit of about 240%. But I know that from having worked with Ingram Spark on my other books, and I'm trying to do it through Amazon. And I thought I was giving Amazon a favour having this book, but
Okay, well, that makes sense to me. So yeah. I mean, you're basically saying it's going to be like with the crappy printers that they use. If they use that much ink, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah. We're getting some comments.
I can't believe you put down your boyfriend's printers. That's no way to. Oh, yeah. That's no way to maintain a relationship, Chuck. Making fun of Jeff's printer operation.
Well, look, he can't obviously.
Leon's to the rescue.
Leon's to the rescue. Once he realizes what's going on, I'm sure he's going to be right on it.
Once Jeff Bezos comes to his senses, this problem's going to end.
Well, I think actually, he might be at Fan Expo because I think it will be hard for him to resist, like William Shatner and Mark Hamill. I think that's just the sort of thing that Jeff Bezos likes, and all four hobbits. They're probably all coming because Jeff Bezos personally paid them to come, and he's probably going to have a private session with them where he's there.
And that's
so
where
hopefully,
that's where you can.
Hopefully, so if there's some guy walking around with a Spider-Man mask on, I can't see their face. It's probably Jeff Bezos. Is my theory. At least that's how I should be approaching this convention. So,
that's if you do find Jeff Bezos, you should approach him with your problem. That way, I guarantee some goons are going to show up at your door tomorrow.
Yes, particularly people with hair. Like anybody with hair, I'm going to be like, "Is that a wig? Is that Jeff Bezos in a wig?" So.
I feel like he couldn't really disguise himself well with a wig. He probably his entourage of his private security force would probably give him away.
I think he looked totally different with a wig. Who's this man?
If you consider totally different Jeff Bezos with a wig. Well, it sounds like Leon knows something about printing. I learned it.
Right.
I learned something
maybe that's
new.
why this show recommended to you, because
Okay,
we worked in printing.
Let's review all the good stuff that we learned today. First of all, I learned about printing. If you use whatever it is, black, cyan, magenta, and what's the other one?
Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
If you use them all at 100%, it's a mess, and some printers don't like that, like Amazon. I also learned about what was it called?
Parochial empathy.
Parochial empathy, which I still don't completely understand, but at least you introduced it to my lexicon, which I'm probably going to forget by tomorrow. But if you keep reintroducing it, I'll remember it eventually.
I think, it seems like quite an important concept, especially if you're trying to get people to calm down and not kill each other. If you're in the Middle East or something.
Calm down and don't kill each other. Yeah, I mean, look, I've said this about 100 times, so I'm just saying it for the 3 people in the chat room right now. The one thing that I wish that they could, I've got a, when I look at our education system in the U.S., the 2 classes that I think should be taught that aren't, one should be like the basics of money, what's inflation, what's fiat, what's compound interest, real basic stuff that everyone...
Right, that's like, let's keep that one a mystery. You only have to deal with it in everything you do every day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, kids say like, well, why do I need calculus? Well, the truth is most of you don't need calculus, but you're all going to have money come and go out of your life, and you should know some basics of money. The other thing I'd put in there is propaganda, because we're constantly being bombarded by propaganda, and most people don't even realize it. They think they're watching the news.
Yeah.
And I'd say America is probably the number one producer of propaganda and just media in
Well,
general.
that goes back to like this thing of like trying to keep everybody on the same page, so it has to be really broad.
But does it have to be a lie too?
But like the truth, it almost does have to be a lie because the truth is
Damn.
not that simple. It's never that simple.
Man, I can't wait until you're in government. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be like the next Richie Sunak over in Britain. They've got Richie Sunak, poor guy.
Are you going to be transparent that your policy
He's
is
like the
to
closest they've
dump
got
things?
to an old school conservative.
I think you should be transparent when you're running, so people know what they're voting for. You should just come out and say, "So first of all, we got to dumb stuff down, and we basically have to lie a lot to you." So
No,
that's
but
my platform,
yeah,
because we have to. You're just too
yeah.
stupid, you know.
Well, it's not that you're stupid. It's that you. Well, you know, it's like there's got to be a sort of shared story that's being broadcast.
Um, you could tell people what inflation is. Besides
Yeah.
the milk is getting more expensive, but you can't actually, because then you'd have an uprising and people with like pitchforks and those things that they went after Frankenstein with. Those people would like just come out of nowhere, and then your elected politicians
Okay,
would
but
be.
did you hear though? Talking about elected politicians, did you hear what Richie Sunak did?
I
Or what
do
he's
not
been.
know.
So Richie Sunak, the current Prime Minister of Britain, who's like come in after. Well, the last one
That
they
was
had
that was
was
my first question.
Mrs. What was her name? Mrs. What was, I
You mean
can't
the
remember. She was
interim?
only there 5 minutes.
Yeah, I forgot her name too.
She was completely mad.
I mean, you should know because you used to live there, but I don't
Well, I
know.
didn't live there. I mean, like, I missed. I wasn't there when that happened. But that mad woman was in, and now they've got Richie Sunak, who's like, he's from an East Asian family, I guess, like fairly rich, but he's very British, went to sort of British public school and all this sort of stuff. So he's
That's
our
right,
first
Dash.
brown prime minister. So okay, that's pretty impressive. Okay, good. And he's trying to follow, like, he's trying to be like an old fashioned conservative, which is like, okay. He's going through the motions, but okay. He went even more old-fashioned in that he said all the immigrants coming in seeking asylum in Britain, we should send them all to Rwanda.
Rwanda. Why Rwanda?
Well, because Rwanda were that place where they had all these terrible genocides a while back. Well, apparently it turns out they're a bit short of people after all the genocides, I guess. I'm sorry, I just
Wait,
realised
was
that
this a
now.
real
That's why
comment?
they're a little short. The labour force is short in Rwanda.
Was this a real thing?
So, but the
got
British
said?
courts basically said no, and he sort of staked his whole policy on this thing for a long time, and he's been spending a lot of time and energy sort of trying to get this thing to happen to solve the immigration problem. So it's all very ironic and peculiar.
Wait, this was a real thing. Send the
Yeah,
immigrants to
to
Rwanda
Rwanda. Yes.
because Rwanda needs them after their genocide.
Well, they didn't say that bit. I'm just putting two and two together right now
Okay.
and realizing that
And
Rwanda after the genocide they're probably a bit short of people.
and how did this go down? How did this
Well,
get publicly
obviously,
embraced?
there's always some difficult groups trying to allow sensible policies to go through. Uh,
I don't know.
the
what's
courts
going
have
on.
ruled. The courts have just ruled and said, but they didn't rule absolutely no. They just said, well, you'd have to change the law before you can do this because under the current law,
You can't deport people to other countries.
you can't do this.
I mean, where do they go though?
Well, because they
go back
can't
to their
guarantee their
country.
safety in Rwanda. So it was like if they could guarantee their safety more in Rwanda, then fine. But Rwanda's like having genocides. Sorry.
What still?
They're having,
I
having
thought-
genocides
I thought
with
the
the people that's already
genociding was
there.
over.
So they're going to be like, yeah, sure, we want a whole bunch of other different. Let's just go multicultural.
I feel like there's some other things.
They
Some other
can't, like,
factors.
you can't even tell the difference between the ones that are already killing each other. Sorry.
It's just sad. I don't know that much about those
I'm sorry.
genocides.
I don't
in,
mean. I mean,
in
I feel
Central Africa.
terrible. My friend, she went to work with the United Nations in Rwanda, and yeah.
I mean, all I saw is like a doc on that. It was like a documentary, and it just seemed like super, super sad, super sad and super pointless. But again, I just want to go back to my thing about teaching propaganda in schools, propaganda analysis, media analysis. Very few kids get it, and it's something that's going to touch your life just like compound interest will, just like fiat money systems will.
Okay, talking propaganda, I got a bit in trouble on Facebook this week. Joe Woes, like lovely Joe Woes, he's a great guy, and he does Maze Tunes and lots of other things. He's got a really successful Emmy show, the Emmy award-winning show,
Joe Woes.
doing like cartooning, but he's doing something to do with Zardoz, and Chuck Dillon has tagged me on there.
I feel like I need to go to a wiki page now.
But I voiced the unpopular opinion that I didn't think much of the Barbie movie.
You didn't think much of the Barbie movie? I don't know. That's probably a popular opinion somewhere, just not where you were when you said it.
No, I've already got in trouble with that. All right.
Joe Woe. How do you spell? Is Woe spelled like I'm trying to stop a horse? Is it like that?
No, WOS, I think. Yeah, he's a good guy, Joe Woes. I didn't mean to upset anybody, but it was just a bit like
But
the Barbie movie. I really didn't like it at all. I just thought it was like when we were at Ogilvy, they were doing all stuff on Barbie down in the LA bit, and I was down there, and I don't know. It was just like it was all very like this is a sort of triumph of corporate marketing and the principles of corporate marketing and the principles of Goebbels. Like that's what he invented. It's like this sort of propaganda. If you look at his principles, they're being applied now to marketing.
Now you made Ashton not want to see the Barbie movie.
Well, then I started thinking of Rat Race movie where John Lovitz kids want to see the Barbie Museum in Nevada.
Wait,
it turns out to be the Klaus Barbie Museum, the famous Nazi.
Okay, well, Ashton's not seen the Barbie movie. We don't know why.
I only saw it because everyone said it was really good, and I saw it and I was like, ugh. And then it ended with like a 5-minute lecture by Rhea Perlman. Even the people that like it agree that they don't. That's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I mean, I like the cast. I mean, I like who's the Gosling. Ryan Gosling. I like him.
I shouldn't have brought Goebbels' marketing techniques into it, but I'm a bit against the corporations.
I mean, I don't know about Goebbels. I mean, so what are you saying? It was mismarketed, or it was marketed and so well that now everybody thinks it's a great movie? What's your
I just thought, look, I like Greta Gerwig. I was seeing Greta Gerwig films before anybody. Well, not before anybody, but I mean, I saw all her other movies.
Bruce is giving it thumbs down. I'm not going to see it. The thing is that there's so much good media these days that really I have to have a lot of indications to spend my 2 hours because there's just so much great stuff that's already out there. I feel like this amount of good media was not available until maybe like the last 20 years. And now it's just like you can't keep up with it. There's so many good things out there. Yeah, but most of them are not movies. But most of them are not being shown in the theater. I feel like superhero movies have taken over. It's probably the only place that Hollywood could still make a lot of money. But
yeah, when people want to go and have that sort of thrill ride experience at a theater, okay, that's understandable. And they're not going to the theater for like other things. But
Wait, say that again.
People are not going to the theater for other things. That's the problem.
For other things,
other than the superhero movies, they're making like some good movies, but people don't go and see it like they used to.
You think that there's something about the superhero movies that just works better, complements better on a huge screen with like crazy surround sound?
Well, it's just a sort of fun thing for like young people to go with their friends and. A sort of action adventure, big spectacle, like a thrill ride. It's like a popcorn movie.
Hey, I'm just gonna say, let's play word association. I'm gonna say a word or a phrase, and then you just respond with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay, Iron Claw. Zac Efron.
Well, I don't know much about those things.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Zac Efron, comes to mind of goofy teen comedies, and Iron Claw just makes me think of some superhero that I haven't heard of.
Don't read in the comments because that's cheating.
The Hooded Claw. That was Inspector Gadget. That makes it the hooded claw. It makes me think of.
Okay, I'm glad I can see you're not reading in the comments. So cool.
Or it makes me think of the eagle that they took off the Reichstag that I saw at the Imperial War Museum. That was quite impressive. Like they had the big old eagle. They had like 10 objects to make you think about World War II. One of them was one of the eagles off the Reichstag.
I mean, some of that Nazi artwork is pretty good.
Yeah, big,
It's like
imposing motherfucker.
it's like nobody liked George Bush, but then you heard he painted, and then well, okay, a lot of people out here, a lot of people on the left did not like George Bush, and then you heard he painted, but then when you saw his painting, you were like, hey, not bad, not bad.
Well,
I'm just saying that that eagle they took off the Reichstag,
yeah,
might have been pretty sweet.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to collect it or anything, or like I don't want it, but. Well,
yeah.
if they were going to give it to me for free, I'd probably take it. I mean, a lot of people get upset about that, but if it was sweet and free, I might take it.
Yeah. Well, they got it. They got it back.
Dude, like I wish we had some of this stuff to show, but that struggle, that what was his name?
Mein
Slavinsky?
Kampf, that struggle that Hitler
No,
guy had.
not my struggle, not the Hitler book, but the
Well, he did have. That's terrible. No.
Well, isn't that what it means? My struggle?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, not that though.
Not that. Yeah.
But that sculptor that was in that doc.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah.
Stravinsky. Somebody in the comments help us out. He was was
The
Polish.
Netflix
He did all this
documentary. He was sort of discovered by underground cartoonists
in the 70s. A lowbrow artist in L.A. Stanislaw Shevskowski. I'm butchering it, but his stuff was gorgeous, and he kind of got in with the wrong crowd. But it's like temple art. Oh my God, that stuff's beautiful. And then I think he realized he made a mistake.
Well, he got sort of involved in sort of Poland first and Polish nationalism. And, he liked the sort of folky aspect of that and the mythical fairy tale aspect that they call to.
Oh, damn. Ashton Alexander Martin is going to town on Nazis.
Yeah, damn not. Yeah, no, we're not pro.
The problem with Nazi aesthetics is
we
were
hate
inherently
Nazis.
poachers of other cultures. Well, I got to tell you, they had good curation tastes. They must have poached some real good stuff. I mean, or maybe they just poached like really good talent.
But art is tied with propaganda and like cartooning. It's a very powerful medium because it can convey powerful messages. I mean, the Nazis used cartoons. USA used cartoons. USA cartoons were better cartoons, so that's why we won the war.
Are war cartoons?
Just in general, like
Just
a Donald
better
Duck
cartoons?
cartoon was way better than like one of those like Jews look ugly cartoons that the Nazis were coming out.
Yeah, there's no
I don't know if the
fun.
Nazis had some better cartoons that we haven't seen, but generally speaking, they weren't known for
I got to
making
tell you, just the way you're
cartoons.
describing it, I'm not really. I don't see this Jews are ugly cartoon being that entertaining. I gotta say.
No,
I mean,
well,
I haven't
you'd
seen
see
it,
the
but
examples
I
of
almost
the
want to
sort of
give
thing
it 2 thumbs down right now.
Yeah. So no, I'd like to draw. I'm drawing Goodman Games writers look ugly cartoons. I'm gonna pick on the right people. Picking on my friend Brendan. I love Brendan. Brendan's great. He's so he's so.
It's interesting though. I wouldn't say like ugly. He's kind of like charming.
He's
I mean,
very
that's
charming.
one of the best looking, most charming looking cyclopses I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not very good at doing like. I can do nasty. I don't know. I like to do nice things. I can do nasty things. I don't know. Yeah, I can do both. I'm sort of hopping around a bit. I think I really like doing dungeon maps, though. That's what I like doing lately. But I like doing the Instagirls. I want to do more of that. I thought I was going to do those today, but I've just been busy with so many things. What with Fan Expo coming up?
Yes, Fan Expo. We already went through the star power that's going to be there.
So yes, what did I say? I said William Shatner,
William Shatner.
Ewan
Boom.
McGregor,
Ewan McGregor. Boom.
Mark Hamill,
Mark Hamill.
and all four hobbits.
All 4 hobbits. I'm just going to count that as 1. So that's 4 stars of star power. I'm
Yes.
going to give it a 4-star out of 5.
Yeah, like any one
could
hobbit, fine. But all 4 hobbits, That's all
All
four
the
hobbits.
hobbits. That's what I'm talking about. Ashton Alexander Martin.
It's like
They're-
how that's like the Beatles. You can have one or two Beatles. You can have a digital recreation of a Beatle.
I'm struggling to understand these emojis, but also see them so far away.
Yeah, I can't see them. I'm relying on Chris to tell me
Oh,
what he can see.
all the hobbits. I think that's a velociraptor. Is that a velociraptor? All the hobbits? Is this a meme that I'm not aware of? That's my question. All the
Ooh,
hobbits.
all four hobbits and the Velociraptor. That would be even better.
Ashton Alexander Martin, you might be too clever for me. Time will tell. So that's some serious star power there. Oh, looks like we just ran out of time.
Uh-oh.
We're officially.
Oh, it's at 8. We've been an hour and a half. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the show then. All right, well, I'm
Then-
doing quite well with the art.
Yeah, you are.
I'll just go full screen on the art.
I wish we took a still of this before you started so we could see what happened in this hour.
Well,
and a
I
half.
do that sometimes. I can save the feed. I was doing it before on the Goodman Games show, so I was just sort of finishing it all off. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Well, we normally
Yeah.
do it every Thursday. I think next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing a Thanksgiving show.
Thanks to Ashton Alexander Martin, which is a mouthful. And who else did we have? We had a few other people in here. Bruce, thanks for stopping by, Bruce. And who else do we have? Leon 784, and that punk Darius. Good job, Twitch, for recommending us to some people.
Yeah, thanks, Twitch. That's
Yeah,
good.
thanks. I hope your algorithm sees our thank you and recommends more. Just Ashton is fine. Okay.
Aston Martin. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ashton Alexander Martin.
Well,
Was that
shaken but not stirred.
What is that? The full
Thank you,
name for
Mr.
the car?
Moneypenny. Can I
Is
see my
that the
short
actual?
recording?
All right,
All right, I'm going to play the theme tune.
we're gonna go on
well,
live.
Yeah, we're going to.
Thanks,
one
everybody.
day we're going to have a better theme tune. But for now, this is our closing theme.
Here's a theme song for Chuck Whelon Showy. He asked me to write one, but I stole from David Bowie. Here's a theme song. Chuck Whelon is the best. We have lots of hosts, but we're running out of gas. Will you be our guest on? Will you be our guest on? Be on the Chuck Whelon Show. Whoa, 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 whoa.